I've been traveling in Europe now for the past 2 months. I started in Frankfurt and I made my way all the way to now Monaco. And I'm gonna go to France, Spain pretty soon. And it's been a fun adventure. Today I want to share with you my experience of trading and traveling, things I do, things I regret not doing, things I could do better, and how you can actually make money trading while traveling. So we'll dive right into it. Now, the first thing I want to kind of touch on a little bit is why do I trade and travel? Why do I move from different places, travel all the time? Why am I not in the same place all the time? If you go back to see my past videos way before COVID, like 2017, 2018, 2019, I was pretty much traveling all the time. I was in different countries. I was moving from place to place about every week. And the reason is quite simple. Why not try to see the world if you have the possibility to do it? Why would you want to be stuck in one place, travel like 2 weeks a year for your vacation, then the rest of the time you're always in the same place, doing the same routine? To me, that gets kind of boring. And I would much rather to be able to travel, have the flexibility to do it, and enjoy my freedom I've built and work hard for with trading and the business I run at the same time. Right, so how is my trading overall? What things I do to be able to maintain that lifestyle of trading and traveling? Well, there's a few things here. First of all, I run an Algo. So I have got 2 Algo strategies that take trade 24/5. They run all the time, basically on my platform on the VPS, which is kind of like a virtual computer. So these strategies run no matter what I do. Like I can be traveling, I can be on the plane, they will still take trades. I started working on this all the way back to 2018 when I was first traveling, and I was missing a lot of trades. It's pretty much the same thing I traded manually before, but I coded into an Algo that now takes trades for me. And that's saving me a lot of time, making my returns more hands-off, so I can be doing a lot of stuff, and I can even be like traveling during the week. Because you don't think about it, but if you're traveling, like taking a plane during the week on your trading hours, that could really screw up your performance. You could miss some trades. Do this every week for a while. You'll miss some trades, you won't have the results you should be having. And all this, like taking your flight, for example, you gotta be at the airport before. You might not look at the chart the same. You'll be on the plane for a while, then you kind of land, then you're kind of tired or something, you gotta go at your hotel. All that stuff is time you lose from trading. So if you're gonna be trading like the 1 hour chart, that's gonna be a lot of missed setups. The way I fix it is having an Algo that takes trades for me, and that doesn't require me to be there to take trades. That's not the only trading I do, but that's part of the trading I do now to be able to make my returns a bit more consistent over time. If you wanna see those Algos and how I manage them and how you can also use them for your trading, check out the link below. I have a program where I only take about 20 people each time, 20 students. We go through how to set up the Algo, how it works out, they learn the strategy behind it. It's a very small program, but it's a way to be able to get people to use these Algos and get them profitable quickly. Check out the link below for the details, and hopefully you can get some benefits out of that. The next thing I do, I've talked about this earlier in the year, I trade the daily chart. Now I move all my trading from 2024 to daily charts only, because I want to be able to travel and have my freedom. I run a business, as you know. There's hard to trade. That takes a lot of my time. I've got people I manage. I think we've got like 7 people working full-time or close to full-time on this so far. And that requires some time. As much as I would try to do it, I cannot just have a few hours of trading per day and then managing the business, and then that stuff doesn't work out together really well. But I still want to trade every day. So I look at the daily charts. I take trades in the daily charts only, and I can hold them and kind of manage them more hands-off for a bit longer term after that. The trades can last a few hours to a few days, and I'm totally happy with that. Like I said, I don't do any day trading anymore because it takes a lot of time. This is a rule I've put on myself back in 2017 when I started first trading and traveling. I used to trade the Asian session when I was at home in Canada. I would do this like every night, very consistently, the returns were good. But then as I began to travel, I realized that for me to sit down for like 3 or 4 hours for trading in the morning or like in the evening, the Asian session is just counterproductive. I want to be able to go out to enjoy the city I'm in. Like here's Monaco, super beautiful. I want to be able to go out and not be glued to my screen for like 3 to 4 hours a day. That doesn't make sense to me. So I set myself a rule back in 2017 that I wouldn't be day trading when traveling. If I'm at home, I can be day trading if I want to. If I really have time, I want to day trade, I can do this for like a couple of months. I'll be happy with it. I live mostly in Thailand now, so it's easier to trade the Asian session for me. It's my morning time. Here in Europe, it just wouldn't be possible because that would be like basically my 3 a.m. or something. I wouldn't wake up at 3 a.m. to trade the Asian session. It doesn't make sense. But if I wanted to trade, I can sit home when I'm in a fixed location for a while. If I'm going to be traveling and I want to day trade and I want to waste my time doing that, I prefer to be out, be active, be walking, go to the gym, and just being able to use my time as I want to. Sometimes you can be at the chart for like 4 hours at a time, day trading, you don't find any trades, or you have a few losers, or you just end up break even for the day. And that to me doesn't make any sense as I'm traveling. Now, what makes everything simple here for my trading when I'm traveling is I've got indicators that I've custom coded. So I want to be able to go at the charts and look at them like once a day very quickly. I don't want to be like looking at analysis, drawing lines and everything of the sort. That would be like super annoying and taking a lot of time. So I've coded these indicators, I have my rules in them. I have an indicator for my Bollinger reversal, which is my main core strategy. Reversals, it gives me a little like triangle when I have a setup on the chart. So I can see it very clearly. I go to my chart, I go to these indicators on each pair that I follow, and it just shows me the setup right away. I do have a very few rules that I look at for like confirming the setup and adding some confluence, but these I can just look at the charts and know directly if it's a good setup or not. Same thing with my other strategy that I trade now on the daily chart, which is a whole moving average strategy. I'll put a video here in the corner if you want to check it out, how I trade these strategies, how they work out. You get to see how these strategies work and how I use them if you want to. But that's the point. I have these rules in place that I've coded. They show on my chart easily because it's so mechanical. It's very systematic. It can just show up right away. And I know if I need to place a trade or not, and that's super useful. This is one of the fairly recent additions to my trading that makes me more consistent, and it just makes the chart analysis a lot easier. I don't need to be drawing things or like looking at movements and whatever. I think a lot of people are doing a lot of like this analysis on the weekend, and they come to trade in the week, and that's good. If it works for them, that's cool. But for me, I don't want to have to do that. I want to be able to have clear rules that I don't need to look at the charts for. Like they're very mechanical. I could give them to someone else. I could trade the same way or very similar, and that's kind of the idea behind this. It's to make it more mechanical. I believe a lot more in mechanical than discretionary trading, although I have a bit of discretion in my trading, but it's very little. And I just kind of like it better that way. Okay, now we get to the fun part here. I've gone through all these tips of trading, what I do, but let me give you a few tips for traveling and trading. How to plan your trip better, how to plan your travel better. I don't talk about this a lot, but some people might want to know, and that's why I'm sharing this here today. Okay, so the only work trading device I carry when I travel is this over here. It's an iPad Pro. This is the 13 or whatever 12.9 inch version. It's a M2 chip, which doesn't even matter to you, but I do everything with this iPad when I travel. When I'm at home, you sure I can have a laptop. I have a nice MacBook Pro and everything, which is really nice but very heavy. So when I travel, I go to cafes, I want to bring only this iPad and kind of stick to it. You see I've got the little magic keyboard with it, which makes it a lot easier to be, of course, be able to work on this. And that's kind of how I do everything now. I just have an iPad. I found that I can have the same charts. I just open TradingView on my browser. Pretty much the same thing as having a laptop, a MacBook Pro or a big desktop computer. It's pretty much the same thing, so I'm okay with that. I can place trades, do my analysis, I can do some drawings too in the charts if I really want to. The indicators I use work the same. I've got in access to my VPS, which I can just connect to. And you see, boom, in a few seconds, I'm on my VPS here now running my Algos, which is kind of cool. I'm able to run this like all the time and access it whenever I want to change the settings or look at the results or make sure the platforms are working fine. So I can have like a full computer with this, which is kind of cool. That's the idea behind it. I try as best as I can to do my moving or my traveling on the weekends. Just because in the week I want to be able to work. Now it doesn't matter too much from trading the daily charts, but I've seen that I can miss trades if I travel during the week and I'm not like having a consistent chart review routine. So ideally my travel will be on the weekend. I can like, for example, today I've got a flight to Barcelona, all the way from here, Monaco. We go to Nice and to Barcelona. That's going to be taking place on Sunday. So I don't have to look at the chart today. It's pretty simple and it's pretty easy that way to be able to move and plan travel dates for the weekend. Ideally, I do my best to stay in luxury hotels, what you would call maybe 4-star, at minimum 5-star hotel ideally. Just because I've wrote a post about it recently, and I tend to do a lot better in my trading and just in my kind of clarity. I get better ideas. I'm surrounded with people who have more money, which is always a good thing. It kind of motivates me more to work in nice hotels. A few days ago, we were at the St. Regis Hotel, which was amazing and beautiful, and that kind of gave me a lot of clarity. I had my best trading week at that time, and sure, it's a lot of money, but at the point where I am now, I think it's worth it, and it makes me enjoy the trip better and kind of just have a good place, productive place to work. I've got usually like a full office in the room, which is helping a lot. If I need to be working or backtesting something and like really kind of going and looking at my performance, I think that just makes things better overall. Now, it wasn't always that way. So back a few years ago, when I started traveling in 2017, you could go back and see my videos. I was staying in hostels, like very basic places. I was spending maybe like $20 or $40 a day. I'm not sure you could do this anymore, but I was doing it back then. That was for me the way to travel with my income at the time. Now, of course, it's different. Numbers are, of course, way different. And I'm able to go for these nicer hotels, which I make the best of. Right, so this is what I mean here by having a luxury 5-star hotel. We're in Monaco, of course, which is an expensive place. This hotel costs about 500 euros a night, a bit more than that. Got my little desk over here, which is very basic, but look at this view. I mean, this is where it's worth it, to be able to have this kind of view in the hotel room. Wake up in the morning, you'll be able to do your trading, you have a look at the charts, you work a little bit on things, and that's just an amazing view for this. So, pretty cool. I mean, this is where you got to think about it too. Like, is it worth it to wake up in your little apartment and like have the view that you have every day, the same stuff, or you want to wake up with like the view like this? I think that's much better. I pick this every day. This is changing every time, so we might be in Monaco today, but we might be in a different place tomorrow. And the view is different, and it's kind of cool. You can be in a different environment, you can walk around different cities, and that just makes everything more exciting and kind of more interesting. Want to see the world when you can, and make the most of it. When it comes to internet and like Wi-Fi and everything, that's a big step forward compared to back in 2017 when I was just starting to travel. You've now got these eSIM cards, which work well with iPhone. I think other phones also take them, where they're pretty much like virtual SIM cards, which you can buy online. So before I go to a place, let's say I'm going to Canada for a while, I'm gonna buy a eSIM card for Canada, which can last me for anywhere from like 30 days to more than that, depends. Here in Europe, you can buy a whole package for the whole Europe. It's very cheap. I think I pay like around $20 for a month of data here with 20 gigabytes, which is pretty good, very cheap. This iPad here also has its own SIM card, its own eSIM card, so it's basically a way to access data or internet whenever I don't have Wi-Fi around me, which helps a lot. I get signal on this, which is also a big advantage compared to laptops. On a laptop, you cannot have any kind of data, or you have to connect to Wi-Fi, which is always a pain and like a problem. On this iPad, even if there's no Wi-Fi around, I can still connect to data, do my trading, and all that stuff like wherever I am. I could be like on the boat, I could be in a bus, I could be in a car, I could be anywhere else, in the train. The Wi-Fi can be spotty, but this will work fine with the data, which is kind of a very good addition. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions about trading and traveling, things I couldn't understand on videos. I want to do more of these videos. It's kind of fun to talk about other stuff than trading, like necessarily like the charts. I want to be able to kind of explore more topics with you guys. So let me know below in the comments. Let me know your questions as always. If you want to see how my strategies work out, check out this video here in the corner. I've done a whole video where I go through my strategies. I've shown you some trades when I travel, went through my best trading week and give you examples of trades and what I follow exactly, so you can learn from this a lot. And I'll catch you back here in a few minutes. So click this link, check out this video, and I'll catch you back there. Ciao.